safety in a quaint village, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, a young girl named Elara lived with her widowed mother. Elara was known for her curiosity and adventurous spirit, often wandering the woods to collect wild flowers and listen to the tales of the ancient trees. On her 12th birthday, her mother presented her with a peculiar gift, a small, ornate compass encrusted in silver and adorned with intricate engravings. "This compass has been in our family for generations," her mother explained, her eyes gleaming with a mix of pride and nostalgia. "It is said to point not to the north, but to your heart's true desire. Guard it well, for it holds great power." Elara's eyes widened with wonder as she examined the compass. The needle spun wildly, as if eager to guide her on a grand adventure. She hugged her mother tightly, feeling a surge of excitement and a hint of trepidation. Little did she know that this compass would soon lead her on a journey beyond her wildest dreams. The next morning, Elara awoke at the break of dawn, the compass clutched in her hand. She bid her mother a quick farewell and ventured into the forest, the compass leading her deeper into the unknown. The trees seemed to part for her, their branches whispering secrets of the past. The compass needle pointed steadfastly in one direction, urging her to follow. As she walked, the forest transformed around her. The air grew cooler, and the sunlight filtered through the leaves in a kaleidoscope of colors. She felt a sense of purpose, as if the forest itself was guiding her to her destiny. After hours of walking, Elara came upon a clear, babbling stream. The water was crystal clear, and the sound of the flowing water was soothing to her ears. She knelt down to take a drink, and as she did, she noticed something peculiar. The compass's needle pointed directly into the stream. Intrigued, she reached out and touched the water, and to her amazement, the surface rippled and formed a portal. A gentle voice whispered, "Step through, if you dare." Elara hesitated for a moment, but the pull of the compass was too strong to resist. She took a deep breath and stepped into the portal, feeling a surge of magic envelop her as she was transported to a new world. Elara found herself in a dark, eerie forest where the trees loomed tall and twisted, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. The air was thick with a sense of foreboding, and the only light came from the faint glow of fireflies that flitted through the air. The compass's needle spun wildly, as if trying to find its bearings. Elara's heart raced, but she pushed forward, determined to uncover the mystery of this new land. As she walked, she heard whispers in the darkness, voices that seemed to be calling out to her. "Turn back," they hissed. "This is not your path." But Elara's resolve was strong, and she continued on, her compass the only light in the darkness. As Elara ventured deeper into the forest, she encountered a towering figure cloaked in shadows. Its eyes glowed with an intense, otherworldly light, and it spoke with a voice that echoed through the trees. "Who dares to enter the land of shadows?" it demanded. Elara stood her ground, holding up the compass. "I am Elara, and I seek the heart's true desire," she replied, her voice steady despite her fear. The figure regarded her for a moment, before nodding. "Very well, young one. You may pass, but beware. The path ahead is fraught with danger and temptation. Only those with a pure heart can find their way." Following the guardian's warning, Elara emerged from the forest and found herself before a grand ancient temple. The temple was made of smooth black stone and its entrance was guarded by two stone statues that seemed to come to life as she approached. The compass led her inside, where she found a vast, mirrored hall. The walls were lined with mirrors that reflected not her physical form, but her deepest thoughts and desires. Elara saw herself as a great adventurer, a hero and a leader, but she also saw her fears and doubts. The compass's needle pointed to a single mirror at the end of the hall, and as she approached, the mirror revealed a vision of her mother, looking worried and alone. Elara realized that her true desire was not only to find adventure, but to protect and return to her mother. With this realization, the mirror shattered, and the path ahead was clear. Elara left the temple and found herself at the edge of a vast chasm. The only way across was a narrow, rickety bridge that swayed in the wind. The compass's needle pointed straight ahead, urging her to cross. As she stepped onto the bridge, it began to creak and groan, and the wind grew stronger, threatening to knock her off. Elara clung to the ropes, her heart pounding, but she refused to give up. She focused on the compass, letting its steady guidance give her the strength to continue. Halfway across, the bridge suddenly split in two, and a gap appeared before her. Elara hesitated for a moment, but then she took a deep breath and leaped, landing safely on the other side. The bridge behind her crumbled, and she knew that she had passed the first of many trials. On the other side of the bridge, Elara found herself in a beautiful garden filled with vibrant flowers and singing birds. The air was sweet, with the scent of blooming blossoms, and the ground was soft under her feet. The compass led her to a clearing where a stone pedestal stood, and on it a small golden key. As she approached, she heard the echoes of her own voice, repeating the words of her mother's warning. "Guard it well, for it holds great power." The key began to glow, and Elara knew that it was meant for her. She picked it up, and the compass's needle spun once more, pointing her to her next destination. The key led Elara to a vast, intricate labyrinth made of mirrors. The walls were tall and reflective, and every turn seemed to lead to a dead end. The compass's needle spun erratically, as if confused by the maze of reflections. Elara soon realized that the labyrinth was not just a physical challenge, but a mental one. Each reflection showed a different version of herself, each one representing a different choice or path she could take. She saw herself as a brave warrior, a wise sage, and a compassionate healer. But she also saw the consequences of each path: war, isolation, and sorrow. Elara had to choose the path that aligned with her true heart. She closed her eyes and focused on her compass, letting it guide her through the labyrinth. Eventually, she found the exit, and the key in her hand began to hum with power. The key led Elara to a hidden chamber deep beneath the earth. The chamber was dimly lit, and the air was thick with the scent of old parchment and ancient magic. In the center of the room stood a large, ornate chest, and the compass's needle pointed directly at it. Elara approached the chest and used the key to unlock it. Inside, she found a scroll made of parchment that seemed to glow with a soft, golden light. The scroll contained a map of the land and a series of riddles that would lead her to the heart's true desire. Elara read the first riddle aloud. "In the place where the sun sets and the moon rises, you will find the key to your heart's desire." She rolled up the scroll and continued on her journey, the compass guiding her to the next destination. The compass led Elara to a vast open plain where the sun was setting, casting a warm golden glow across the landscape. The sky was a tapestry of oranges, pinks and purples, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of wild flowers. The scroll's riddle spoke of a place where the sun and moon met, and Elara knew that this was the place. She followed the compass to the center of the plain, where a small, ancient stone stood. As she approached, the stone began to glow, and a voice whispered, "You have come to the place of balance. Here the sun and moon meet in harmony. To find your heart's true desire, you must find the balance within yourself." The stone then revealed a hidden compartment, and inside, Elara found a small, silver feather. The feather was light as air, and it seemed to carry the essence of the sunset. The compass's needle spun once more, pointing her to her next destination. The compass led Elara to a grove bathed in the silvery light of the moon. The trees were tall and ancient, and the air was filled with the sound of nocturnal creatures. The scroll's next riddle read, "In the place where the moon casts its light, you will find the key to your heart's desire." Elara followed the compass to the center of the grove, where a small, crystal-clear pond lay. The water was so still that it reflected the moon perfectly, and as Elara approached, she saw a small silver fish swimming in the pond. The fish swam to the surface and spoke in a soft, melodic voice, "You have come to the place of reflection. Here the moon's light reveals the truth. To find your heart's true desire, you must look within." The fish then leaped from the water, leaving behind a small silver scale. The scale shimmered with the light of the moon, and Elara knew that it was a symbol of her inner truth. The compass's needle spun once more, guiding her to the next destination. The compass led Elara to a vast underground cavern, where the walls were made of smooth black stone. The air was cool and damp, and the only sound was the distant echo of dripping water. The scroll's next riddle read, "In the place where the echoes of the past resonate, you will find the key to your heart's desire." Elara followed the compass deeper into the cavern, and as she walked, she heard the echoes of her own voice, repeating the words of her mother, the guardian, and the fish. The echoes seemed to guide her to a small hidden chamber where a stone pedestal stood. On the pedestal, a small silver bell hung, and as Elara approached, the bell began to ring, filling the cavern with a melodious sound. The scroll's riddle was revealed. To find your heart's true desire, you must listen to the echoes of the past and learn from them. Elara took the bell, and the compass's needle spun once more, pointing her to the next destination. The compass led Elara to a dense, enchanted forest, where the trees seemed to whisper secrets in the wind. The air was thick with the scent of pine and earth, and the ground was soft under her feet. The scroll's next riddle read, "In the place where the whispers of the forest guide, you will find the key to your heart's desire." Elara followed the compass deeper into the forest, and as she walked, she heard the whispers of the trees. They spoke of ancient magic, forgotten paths, and hidden truths. The whispers led her to a small hidden clearing where a stone obelisk stood. On the obelisk, a small silver leaf was embedded, and as Elara approached, the leaf began to glow. The scroll's riddle was revealed. To find your heart's true desire, you must listen to the whispers of the forest and follow them. Elara took the leaf, and the compass's needle spun once more, guiding her to the next destination. The compass led Elara to a towering mountain where the air was thin and the sky was clear. The mountain was covered in snow, and the only sound was the distant cry of eagles. The scroll's next riddle read, "In the place where the silence of the mountain reigns, you will find the key to your heart's desire." Elara followed the compass up the mountain, and as she climbed, the world around her grew still. The wind died down, and the only sound was the crunch of snow under her feet. At the summit, she found a small stone altar where a small silver snowflake rested. The scroll's riddle was revealed. To find your heart's true desire, you must embrace the silence and find peace within. Elara took the snowflake, and the compass's needle spun once more, guiding her to the next destination. The compass led Elara to a vast, crystal-clear lake, where the water was so still that it reflected the sky. The air was cool, and the only sound was the gentle lapping of the water against the shore. The scroll's next riddle read, "In the place where the reflections of the lake reveal, you will find the key to your heart's desire." Elara followed the compass to the center of the lake, where a small, stone platform stood. As she stepped onto the platform, the water around her began to ripple, and the reflection of the sky revealed a hidden path. The path led her to a small, hidden island, where a stone pedestal stood. On the pedestal, a small silver mirror rested, and as Elara approached, the mirror began to glow. The scroll's riddle was revealed. To find your heart's true desire, you must look into the mirror and see your true self. Elara gazed into the mirror, and her reflection began to change. She saw herself as a young girl, full of dreams and curiosity, and then as a brave adventurer, facing challenges and overcoming fears. Finally, she saw herself as a compassionate and wise young woman, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The mirror revealed her true self, and with it, the key to her heart's desire. Elara took the mirror, and the compass's needle spun once more, guiding her to the next destination. The compass led Elara to a grand, ancient temple built into the side of a mountain. The temple was made of stone and adorned with intricate carvings of the four elements: earth, water, air, and fire. The scroll's next riddle read, "In the place where the elements converge, you will find the key to your heart's desire." Elara entered the temple, and the air inside was thick with the scent of incense. The walls glowed with a soft, ethereal light, and at the center of the temple, a large, circular chamber awaited. In the center of the chamber, a stone altar stood, and on it, 4 small silver orbs, each representing one of the elements. As Elara approached, the orbs began to glow, and a voice echoed through the chamber. To find your heart's true desire, you must balance the elements within yourself. Elara took the orbs, and the compass's needle spun once more, guiding her to the final destination. The compass led Elara to a hidden, sacred place, deep within the earth. The air was warm and filled with the scent of earth and flowers. The scroll's final riddle read, "In the place where the heart of the world beats, you will find the key to your heart's true desire." Elara followed the compass to a vast, underground cavern where a large, glowing crystal stood at the center. The crystal pulsed with a soft, rhythmic light, and as she approached, the ground beneath her feet began to vibrate. The crystal's light intensified, and a voice spoke from within. "Welcome, Elara. You have journeyed far and faced many trials. Your heart is pure, and your spirit is strong. The key to your heart's true desire lies within you." The crystal then split open, revealing a small, glowing, heart-shaped stone. Elara took the stone, and the compass's needle finally came to rest, pointing directly at her. With the heart-shaped stone in her hand, Elara felt a sense of peace and fulfillment. She knew that her journey was not just about finding a physical object, but about discovering her true self and her place in the world. The compass's needle began to spin once more, and this time it pointed back to her village. Elara followed the compass, retracing her steps through the enchanted forest, the mountain of silence, and the forest of whispers. As she approached her village, she felt a warmth in her heart, knowing that she had grown and changed in ways she never thought possible. Elara returned to her village as the sun was setting, casting a warm golden glow over the familiar landscape. Her mother was waiting at the edge of the forest, her face etched with worry and relief. As Elara approached, her mother's eyes filled with tears, and she embraced her daughter tightly. "You've been gone for so long," her mother said, her voice filled with emotion. "I was so worried." Elara held up the heart-shaped stone, and her mother's eyes widened with wonder. "This is the heart's true desire," Elara explained. "It's not just a physical object, but a symbol of my journey and the person I've become." Her mother smiled, her eyes shining with pride. "You've grown so much, Elara. I always knew you were destined for great things." Elara felt a deep sense of gratitude and love, knowing that her true desire had always been to return home and be with her mother. The compass, now at rest, glowed softly in her hand, a reminder of the magical journey that had led her to this moment.